Hey you guys, it's me. I'm out fighting vandalism today. As you guys well know, I live off grid. So I have to pump water and use different machines for power. Give me a second. I have to do all this to survive. So I keep fresh water as much as I can on tap. I like to keep about 600 gallons, but for the last 7 months I've just kept steady 300. So 300 gallons has lasted me about 7 months. So now let me tell you the problem. 300 gallons last 7 months. Last night I filled up my 300 gallon water tank, filled it to the very tippy top, completely full. I come outside today. My daughter came over and Tina came over. We went and hung out a little bit because being alone 7 days in a row kind of is extremely depressing when you're in solitary confinement. But I went and looked at my tank and it's half empty. 150 gallons just literally disappeared. Now tell me how 7 months, 300 gallons lasted. But overnight, 300 gallons goes in half. I lose 150 gallons. It's almost like somebody went outside when I was sleeping, took my hose off my tank, and drained half the freaking water. Does that sound like something that would happen to a targeted individual? Well, of course it is. Got a little rant for you. The most despicable person in TV right now in America. No, in the world. The most despicable human garbage on the planet. And it makes me physically angry. Piers Morgan. That is the most despicable, dishonest British worm on the planet. Watch the, I'll see if I can link it in the description. He had Pierce, Gavin Newsom, Andrew Wilson, some freaking left-wing wacko redhead chick, and a Pakistani Britain man that was born in Britain. His dad immigrated there from Pakistan. His dad had a PhD, a doctorate, and all this other stuff. He was assimilated. And then another, of course, far-left Pakistani. And Pierce, you want a drinking game? Here's a drinking game for you. Every time Piers Morgan says, Tommy Robertson, every time he says that, take a shot. Every time he starts mentioning Tommy Robertson was convicted of all these crimes, take 2 shots. And every time he says Tommy Robertson is a football hooligan, take 3 shots. You're going to be drunk in 3 minutes. You're going to be drunk in 3 minutes flat. You know who Tommy Robertson is, you need to know. People like Pierce, and then the other guy, Brian Shapiro, I told you about him the other week, redheaded closet fag, I guess you could say. Left-wing garbage. They got the same mentality. In their minds, if someone murders someone else and they convict you for it, you're guilty. To Piers Morgan, every conviction is solid. No one's been wrongfully convicted, according to Piers Morgan. And Brian Shapiro does this thing when he talks about Trump. He's a 34-time felon, sexual abuser, convicted of sexual rape and insertion of his finger and money laundering. And he just goes through the whole this manufactured list of crimes that Donald Trump did. Piers Morgan does the same thing. Well, he's a football hooligan. He was convicted of and he just spews freaking garbage, just spews it out like it's real. This Pakistani guy on there, he was like, Pierce, you don't even know Tommy Robinson. You know nothing about him. Pierce, Tommy Robinson is the bane of Piers Morgan's existence. He hates him with a passion. Tommy Robinson was put in jail in a 99 or 95% Muslim jail. Muslims hate Tommy Robinson because he's blowing the whistle on Islam. They put him in a jail. and they would not put him in solitary confinement to put him at risk because he wanted to release a video. He made a video, and I don't know if you know the case or not, but this Syrian boy, poor Syrian boy in elementary school, will come to find out, this Syrian boy who's 11 or 12 was sexually harassing a bunch of little girls in the school. So Tommy Robinson and the school protected him. And the kids that spoke out and reported him, they got in trouble. A lot of them got expelled, and the parents got fined. And they were threatened to throw the parents in jail for exposing this sexual deviant 11-year-old. If you don't think 11-year-old can be deviant, when you teach a culture that your greatest prophet married a 6-year-old and had sex with her at 9, that's what you're supposed to epitomize. So they punished everybody that spoke out about this poor Syrian boy. That's how, you know how they do in America on the news when this black kid goes out and kills 10 people and then a cop kills him. They show the picture when he's 8 years old after his birthday party and he's smiling and he's so happy. Yeah, that's the garbage that we deal with when it comes to Piers Morgan. Well, the same thing happened with this article about a Syrian boy. Well, Tommy Robinson made a video, interviewed everybody involved, and the judge said, listen, if you post that video, free speech is gone in the UK. The UK is lost. And I'll tell you even further about how dangerous, the bigger danger that we're in when it comes to the UK being our allies. He got put in jail for releasing the video that exposed this false narrative. And Piers Morgan's like, no, Tommy Robinson slandered him. And he deserved to go in jail because the judge said no. And this Pakistani Muslim, he's like, you don't understand, Piers. That was a civil offense. You don't go to jail for civil crimes. But they put somebody in the office, in that legal office as a judge, just to go after Tommy Robinson. Wait a second. Did that happen in America? Wait a second. The number 3 guy at the DOJ, or maybe even number 2 guy at the DOJ, stepped down to go to the Southern District of New York to go after Donald Trump. Wait a second. It almost looks like a plan all over Western nations where they use lawfare to take down anyone that stands up. Wow, if you speak, then they go after you? Piers Morgan, this is totally lost on Piers. He was convicted in a court of law of his peers. No, they're not peers in the UK. So Tommy Robinson spent 8 months, if not longer, he tried to get solitary confinement, they wouldn't, put him in there for a civil matter. Another charge. He was outside of the courthouse reporting on a Muslim rape gang, which Piers Morgan tried to cover up. Reporting on a Muslim rape gang, and the judge says, you're not allowed to report on Muslim rape gangs. And then what they do again? Another civil order, and they criminalize it and put Tommy Robinson in jail. He's been convicted maybe 2 or 3 times of supposed football hooliganism. He's a hooligan. He's a football pirate. He's dangerous. Him and his thugs in Luton. This is all Piers can say. He's a hooligan. He's a racist. I'm sitting here just yelling at my phone, screaming to the top of my lungs at my telephone about Piers Morgan being such a freaking douchebag. And he's on there, and Gavin McInnes is like, why are you defending child rape gangs, Piers? Well, I'm not. But white men in this country do it more. And he's like, and then Andrew Wilson's like, wait a second, Piers. Do you know what per capita means? Per capita. Whites are the majority population in your country. But then when you start looking at it, it's like a 10, no wait, it's, how do I say it? I don't want to say the number, but it's an exuberant more amount per capita. Just like in America, it's what, 13% of the population and 78% of violent crime? Well, in the UK, the stats are even worse when it comes to child rape gangs. But Piers Morgan's like, well, white people, well, wait a second. So white people were born there, born and raised in the UK. And Piers thinks, well, it's the white people's fault. They were born and raised here. Wait a second. So Piers is saying we should import more child rape gangs. The Unite the Right rally with Tommy Robinson, the last one, with the news helicopters and everybody that reported on it. If you watched that rally that day, it went on for 10 hours straight. And anybody, and if you look, it's the same Make America Great Again people. It's white Christians, and there are a lot of other ethnicities at the rallies because they came and assimilated. People, they got the invasion in the early 80s. We got Mexicans in the early 80s thanks to freaking Ronald Reagan. Anybody out there says Ronald Reagan was a good president, you deserve to be punched in the freaking mouth. But they had the same. Isn't it amazing with the New World Order? They do it all. It's only white Western nations that get invaded by all these other nations because it's easier to take over a nation when you bring in a bunch of cancer. So Pierce was like, oh, there were only 150,000 at that rally. And Gavin's like, you're out of your freaking mind. There were 3 million people. Oh, I know. I used to work at the biggest newspaper. That rally wasn't that big. The cops even said it was 150,000. And Gavin's like, you think the cops are telling the truth? Well, why would the cops lie? Because the cops and the news and the deep state and the judges and the bureaucrats and all of the freaking lefties that are trying to destroy Britain don't want the rest of the world to know how many people have stood up. Did you know for the last 40 years in Britain, the people have voted for no immigration? They voted against it. And every one of their leaders gets in there and shoves it right down their throat and straight up their ass. But here's Pierce Morgan. 150,000. Tommy's a thug. I've invited him on my channel, and all he does, he's a racist. He's scared of me. Pierce is like, well, London's more beautiful than it's ever been. Here's a TV show for you. Uncensored is Pierce Morgan's show, and it's just a bunch of screaming banshees on there. But here's a show for Pierce Morgan. Pierce Morgan Undercover. Do it like Undercover Boss, but undercover citizen. Take Pierce Morgan, dress him up like a Muslim. You hear me? Put him a beard. You put a beard on Pierce Morgan, nobody recognizes him. Put him in a beard and send him out into Luton. Luton is where Tommy Robinson's from. It's like 75 to 80% Muslim. We're not talking about the peaceful Muslims that love Britain. No, we're talking about the Muslims that will cut your head off. And then have him go into all these places where he said, oh, London, oh, it's the food. Piers Morgan was talking to Tucker Carlson the other week. Oh, London, I could go anywhere and get the cuisine from around the world. And Tucker's like, so the rape and destruction of the UK and Britain is okay because there are different places to eat food. I mean, I'm so angry right now. Pierce Morgan undercover, dress him up like a Muslim, walk him through the streets of freaking Luton, walk him through the streets of these Muslim no-go zones. Cops won't even go in there. Pierce is like, oh no, we're completely diverse. It's a beautiful place. London is better than it's ever been. The diversity is what makes us strong. And how dare you Americans talk about Britain? This is my country and I love this place. How many people do you know? And Gavin McKenna said it right. Pierce, you're an elite. Pierce is like, oh no, I go to the football games. I always go to the football games, and I hang out with all the little people. Little people? I hang out with the working class. I bet he does. He's in the freaking skybox with freaking champagne and caviar. Oh, I hang out with the little people all the time. I go to all the football. I love football games. Bullshit. Remember, Pierce Morgan helped cover up the child rape gangs. He helped cover it up. Just like he helped cover up COVID, Pierce Morgan is always 5 years behind because he's just a shill on YouTube. He's just a freaking shill. He's a lying globalist twat. I would love to physically hurt him. No chance of me ever meeting him because I don't go to posh places. I don't go to the football games and watch Great Britain or Manchester or whatever the hell. I mean, I played soccer when I was a child, or football. Football, the communists call it. Watch this. If you're not screaming at the TV, You don't have any emotions. And this left-wing woman's on there. Look, but London is the capital city of Great Britain, and it's been voted. Sadiq Khan has won mayorship 3 times in a row. And Andrew Wilson's like, well, that's the goddamn point, because it's a Muslim majority city. Londonistan, like Pakistan, because it's a Muslim majority. They breed you out of existence. And America is done. There are over 5 million Muslims in America, and we are toast. Toast. Because Donald Trump is he's done some wonderful things. But mass migration ain't coming. I can only pray that I'm not around much longer to deal with the torture that I go through, that I have to see the way this country's going, because my youngest daughter has seen what daddy's been saying. My oldest daughter's trapped in this liberal left-wing bubble. Everyone should be able to come here. Everybody deserves health care. Everybody deserves a house. I said, well, if that's the case, why don't you invite people to live with you while you pay all the freaking bills? Why don't you go to work every day and you feed a house full of migrants? Illegal aliens, I call them. Invaders. Why don't you do that? These people love spending somebody else's money. I think Pierce Morgan needs to have his citizenship in America revoked and removed. I'm telling you, we're going to make the R word racism great again. Make racism great again. I don't care. I'm going to get a t-shirt and I'm going to print every freaking bad word on it that you're not supposed to say in big letters across my shirt, front and freaking back. We're going to go for the double G hard R all the way to the let's go fly a kite and send it soaring. I don't care. I don't care anymore. It's we're being invaded, destroyed, and Donald Trump apparently just doesn't care. We got to have that farm labor, that farm secretary. I was like, well, she's going to screw us up. And what'd she do? She got in there and said, oh, well, these farms need migrant workers. No, they don't. No, they don't. They need to be able to pay a living wage to American workers. Because who did the farm labor 1980 and before? It was white and black Americans. Why? Because they got paid a living wage to go to work. But it's done. America's done. It's freaking done. And I'm gonna have to sit back and watch it burn. And that's if we don't get nuked, because China and Russia's coming to get us. Just like the Bible says, China and Russia is on the move. And they'll wipe us off the freaking map. We can't even beat Iran. Anyway, I'll see if I can link that in the description. Like, share, subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. Like it because you hate me. I don't care. Like it because you hate me. Because apparently you do. I was at 811 subscribers for the last 3 months, and guess what? I've lost 4. I lost 4 subscribers. Can't get past the 800 mark with 50 views per video. God, it's almost like I'm being silenced. If you don't comment, it does nothing. If you don't like it, it does nothing. But apparently you don't want it to do anything. Thanks. God bless.